All right. Good evening, cyber friends. I just about can say good morning. It's about 10 minutes, 12 midnight, the dawn of a new day. And we just want to say that we give God all the praise and honor and glory, thanking Him for life, health, and strength, thanking Him for as well as it is. And to each and every one of you, my cyber friends, you know who you are. We are certainly, excuse me for them notifications that keep popping up. Let me see, can I kill that? Because that will bother us all night long. Okay. To all my cyber friends, I want to first of all come back and say right here that I want to make an apology to everybody from Tuesday night Bible study. Um, it was no fault of mine, y'all. I could not have my Bible study on Tuesday night. We had a thunderstorm came through and it knocked out all the power. I lost power for about 3 hours. It knocked the power off by 9:30 Tuesday, and it stayed out until way after 12. So I didn't get a chance to do Bible study and really nothing else online at that particular time. And so we apologize for that for those of you that perhaps came looking for the Bible study and it was not there. Because like I told y'all, if something happened like that there, you can rest assured that it's something that's beyond my control that I could not help, because the Bible study will go on. If I can get online and I be in good health and strength, the Bible study will go on. Because like I told y'all, I don't take real hard in repeating myself a whole lot, but some things need repeating. I told y'all that I know what God told me about this Bible study. And years ago, 13 years to be hand running, that I've been on Blog Talk and told me to do online Bible study. In other words, I was thinking that I wanted to teach something, and I was thinking God wanted. I was thinking music. I was going to do something musically. That's what I thought it was all about. But God let me knew right away. He was not going to stop me from doing music per se, but he was letting me know that that was really not what he was trying to get me to do. The main focus was going to be that Bible study. And so I've been doing it ever since. So y'all can rest assured that the Bible study will go on as long as I'm able to do it. But on the other night, as it would happen, the power was out. That settled that. Couldn't do nothing about it. And after it came back on and everything, well, I had done got out of notion of trying to even do it. I could have did a live feed like I'm doing now and did it then. But, at the time, I'm glad I didn't, because at least it gave me some more views that I could come back to deal with on tonight. And so tonight, I'm not going to break my regular flow of my Bible study. The series that I've been going through is letting y'all know how God was dealing with the nation and he made the nation of Israel. He handmade them and everything, and showing y'all how he brought them up and everything. And we are just about to get to the point. We got Joseph in Egypt right now, and was at Potiphar's house, and the Potiphar's wife done lied on him and got him in prison. So therefore, that's where I stopped at on the last Bible study we had. I stopped at that. But tonight, in lieu of the Bible study from Tuesday night, I just want to briefly share a few things with y'all on tonight on a level which we all can identify with, and that's rituals. I taught that in Sunday school at my home church today, in the call-in service. It was about these dead rituals, useless. They're empty rituals. And we all got some of them things that we are involved in. And we also got some things that a lot of time we get involved in different things, and our services in various avenues, and it don't only have to be relegated to the church, but it could be in the business world or homes on the home front or whatnot, people began to take you for granted. They feel that you will always be there because you always have been there, and they just feel that they can do, some of them you can treat you any kind of way. And because you have always been humble and tried to maintain, they think that they can just treat you any kind of way and everything will be fine. But no. God got a sense of humor. God has a sense of humor. And in these few minutes, I just want to share with y'all the parameters of this here thing to show you just how serious God take this thing. God said, a man shall reap what he sowed. Now that means male and female, y'all. That don't, it said, the Bible said, most of the time when the Bible said man or man, it's speaking of mankind, which is male and the female species. So it equally applies to everyone. So when we get to getting out, doing things improperly, overstepping boundaries, mistreating people, because of the fact that you might be in a position to do so. If you are in a higher position of leadership, I know because I am a deacon, as well as the minister of music in my church. But then whenever I start trying to use those two positions to walk on people, God is not going to stand for that. Oh, no, God is not going to stand for that. And you will reap what you sow, because the same thing that you guessed out will come back to you. In other words, life in the circumstances of our lives and the things that we do, the things that we shovel out there like a boomerang. It's like a boomerang. I was sharing this with my partner tonight. If you throw it out there, the boomerang don't come back to the person standing next to you. It comes back to you. So that's what we need to be considering when we dealing with people on whatever level. You got to do right by people, y'all. You got to do right by people. And I hope that somebody will hear this here particular special Bible study that I'm doing tonight, because it's nothing but the truth. God sees all. And he's very much concerned about how we treat one another. He's very much concerned about that. And so should we be. Because like I say, it's I had a great aunt, God bless her. She's going on from labor to reward now. Her name was Susie Lee Slaughter. And Susie used to always say, it's coming up again. It's coming up again. She's always used that statement. I come to know exactly what she meant. In other words, things that we do, those things will come up again. Things we shovel out there. I got a cousin that's a minister of the gospel named Reverend Michael J. Walker. He was talking about ditch digging. And he said, you know, when you dig a ditch, you got to be in the ditch to dig it. So be careful, you know. We got all kinds of things and saying that we use in the word to represent that same concept of a man shall reap what he sowed. So therefore, when we get involved in these dead rituals, that no concern with that doing thing, going through the motion of stuff, God is not into that. That just dead ritual that we is going through have no spirituality in them in any way, shape, or form or fashion. And we had a good Sunday school on talk today, not just because I taught it. It was a great talk Sunday school because of the participants that that participate in that shares in the making of these Sunday school lessons. And we had a very good one. Everybody was very, very on point. The one that did the outlines were very on key. They touched upon it. They hit it right on the head. So we know now, we do know. If we didn't know before, we know now what these dead rituals are. And these things that we are going about there doing one thing just because we feel that, you know, a lot of times we think God is in something and God is not in it. God is far from it. Because if it ain't no righteous in it, God is not in it anyway. Remember what I always tell y'all at the end of my video? I always tell y'all the same thing. When I do the end of the video, I say, if God's not in it, whatever you get or whatever you get into, if God ain't in it, we need to come out of it. That's what and that's a true statement. I meant that. I got that statement from a minister of the gospel. He's gone on from labor to reward. I used to listen to him back in the 70s on LPs. Those of you that are old enough to know, in my age, you ought to know what an LP is. And he did the sermons. His name was Reverend E.L. McKinney. And he did the sermons on the LP and everything. I used to buy them, and I would listen to his sermon. Good, awesome preacher, man. Powerful preacher, man. And that's where I got that statement from that I use all the time. If whatever you get or whatever you get into, if God isn't in it, it's best that you come out of it. That's where I got that from, Reverend E.L. McKinney. So I like to give credit to whom credit is due. So I'm just telling to y'all, my brothers and sisters, that Midiman is all about doing what thus says the Lord to the best of his ability. I don't do everything right. I'm imperfect being. I have not entered into the kingdom yet. God is still working on me, and he's still working on you too, whether you know it or not. So we do this thing one day at a time, and we want to give God our best. Definitely, we want to do our best, but there are some days we miss the mark. I don't know about y'all, but I know I missed the mark many days. But nevertheless, it's not because of the fact that I'm trying to miss the mark. It's just because of the fact that I am weak and frail, subject to all kinds of mistakes. But God is faithful. God is faithful. He restores us every day. His mercies are new every morning. Because God knows I need it. I need the new mercies every morning. I don't know about you, but I know what Midiman needs. And so therefore I came tonight just to let y'all know about what happened on Tuesday night. And to let you know that God is not mocked, and God is not blind, and he ain't deaf and dumb. He sees all that people does to you. Whatever that might be, whatever it is, God sees, and he takes note of it. Only thing he asks us to do is to be forgiving ourselves. Don't hold grudges. Be quick, swift to forgive. That's what God wants, because he's swift to forgive us. And that's the way he wants us to be. So in other words, when we get down to the meat and the potatoes of things, we look at everything, like I say, this here past year, everybody's been out of the church to a degree. The pandemic shut down everything. I know as a musician, I haven't done anything in over a year, not in the church. So therefore, right now, if the Lord allows us to do anything, we ought to be doing it now with a greater aspiration. And if we were superficial in the past, this pandemic ought to make us, or should have awaken us up, I should say, to a new attitude about doing things for the glory of God and in his spirit. That's what we should be doing now. I know that's where Midiman is. And I don't intend to do nothing vain anymore like that, but do all for the glory of God. Number one, do all for the glory of God. So, my brothers and sisters, we hope that Midiman have explained itself about Tuesday night and about, we hoping that y'all will try to rejoin us again on this following Tuesday, where we'll go back to our regular Bible study and our regular series about the nation of Israel, God making that nation and everything. And we hope to transform on into it, that everybody can get grips on everything. So we just thank God for you now. We thank God for each and every one of you in his Midiman prayers always, that he keep y'all in good health and strength, and prosper you in every way. Prosper you in every way. And remember what I always say, if God is not in it, whatever you get or whatever you get into, if God ain't in it, please, ma'am, please, sir, get out of it, because it will and shall come to nothing. So until the next Bible study, which we hope will be Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio, this is Midiman saying peace and good morning.